Hi, I'm Danyah Miller, I'm a storyteller. And for any of you who have just been listening to my conversation with Michael Morpurgo, you will have heard that I promised to share a little extract of one of my favourite stories that Michael has written, which is I Believe in Unicorns. It's a brilliant story, and I feel completely delighted that our company Wizard Presents was able to adapt this story and take it onto the stage. I've toured it across the whole country and internationally, and it's been seen by over 85,000 people. And I'm really hoping that when we're able to go back into theatres and libraries and schools again, then I'll be able to share it in person. But in the meantime, I'm really thrilled to share just a little extract of it with you here. Long ago and far away, there was a wise, a kind man who had a dream. In the dream, he was told to build the most enormous ark imaginable before the rains came. And when it was ready, 2 by 2, the animals trotted, cantered, slithered, galloped and buzzed aboard. There were lions and tigers, sheep and goats. There were marmosets, sea lions, seahorses. There were cats and dogs, monkeys, baboons, gorillas, dragons and dinosaurs, bats and wombats, kangaroos, koala. There were mice and rats and slugs. All of the animals came aboard, slithering snakes and buzzing bees, bumblebees, wasps, hornets. They were all there. All of them, except the unicorns. Now, Noah's grandchildren, and there were a lot of grandchildren, particularly loved the unicorns. Well, they're lucky and magical creatures, aren't they? But what you might not know is that they're also very cheeky, very playful creatures. So, whilst those grandchildren were searching high and low, the unicorns were hiding in the countryside. They were hiding because they thought that those grandchildren were having a game of hide and seek. So they were missing when the rains began. Slowly at first. Can you help me? But then, a heavier, harder rain. A driving, lashing rain. There was a roll of thunder and a clap of lightning. The rivers and the lakes began to swell. The waters rose and rose until finally all of the land flooded. All of the land except a few distant mountain tops. And the ark began to float. Noah and his family were safe, they were snug and warm, but those grandchildren were not at all happy. Grandpa, we didn't save the unicorns. They were inconsolable. Well, they didn't know. They couldn't see that there, on a distant mountaintop, were the last 2 remaining unicorns on the entire earth. They were neighing and whinnying, rearing up and pawing the air with their hooves. They were flicking their tail and tossing their manes, calling and calling. But it was no use. You see, the ark just sailed off across the horizon. The rains continued, and the water rose up the unicorns' hooves to their legs, up and up to their bellies and their backs, up, up, right up to their chins, until there was nothing more for it. They simply had to swim. They swam for hours, for days, weeks. They were searching for the land. They never found it. Do you know, they swam for so far, for so long, that in the end they no longer needed their legs. And their limbs became fins. And slowly, slowly, ever so slowly, they transformed themselves into whales. So they could dive down to the bottom of the ocean to feed easily and come back up again to breathe the air. But in all that time, they never lost their magical powers. They never lost their horns, which is why we still have in our mighty oceans to this very day whales with unicorns' horns, and we call them narwhals. And every now and again, when those narwhals have had enough of the great seas, when they just long to hear the laughter of children again, well, all they do is transform themselves back into unicorns and trot up onto the sandy beaches on bright moonlit nights so that they can play hide and seek with the children once more. So you see, I believe in unicorns. I believe in them. Absolutely.